Thank
Hi, how are you?
How you doing? How are
I'm
you?
fine.
Good.
I feel like asking you to.
Right. Yeah, I'm stiff today, yeah. Where you from?
Montreal,
Oh,
Canada.
Montreal, great. Well, that's where Pablo Verone's from.
Yeah.
Best tango dancer maybe in the world, you know. He danced in my closing credits, yeah. Talented guy, talented guy. I've known him a long time.
As talented as Academy Award winner Robert Duval.
I don't know, but I don't know, each has his own niche. Everybody has his own niche, fills his own niche with his own talents, yeah.
Robert Duval, how did you get this idea for Assassination Tango?
Way back. I got it way back, you know. I was going through some emotional problems. And I always liked the tango, and then I went to Argentina. And after a couple of years, I was going through some problems. And this idea came, and I wrote the script in a month. It just came to me. It was like a reward for suffering because of tango and because of personal problems. And it came to me, and I wrote the thing. And I put it in a drawer for years until I took it out. And second person I showed it to was Coppola, and he liked it and said he would produce it. But I used to go to Argentina. I still go to Argentina. I've been 35 times to. I love Buenos Aires. We have a place in northern Argentina near the Andes. So, but the whole idea came because it's an interesting world, the tango. And Coppola always said I should play somebody connected with the tango. Way back, he said that because we used to fool around with social dancing and everything like that. So, the ideas came, and you know, it came to me. But rather than shop it around and be refused like I was with the Apostle, everybody refused it, you know, because they didn't have enough of this or that, or caricature, patronizing the people. You know, I have to let it come from the culture and really pay honor to this culture. So I didn't show it to many people. Coppola was the second guy, and it was kind of a full circle thing with him, you know.
So it took you like close to 3 years to prepare this movie?
Oh no, about 10 years, yeah. But you know, it's or more since I first wrote it. But you know, I loved going to Argentina. The music, the dance, and everything was like an intense hobby to me, and that it was part of my life, building up to it anyway. Even if I'd never done the project, but now that the project is over, and we'll get it out to the public, then I'll still have the tango as a hobby, and I love the music, everything.
Why do you write, produce, and direct? You could be like just an actor and say, let everybody do it.
Because certain subjects I feel I understand, like when I did with the Gypsy, with the Pentecostal movement, and now that's something I understand. Maybe I have an understanding more acute than others about it because I've done my research and my homework. And therefore, if I do a project of my own, I mean, somebody once sent me a script to direct, and I said, I don't know how to do this because it's something I didn't, you know, build from the ground up. So I have to, things I build from the ground up, then I feel I can do. So, you know, once you get really engrossed in something and involved in something, it becomes like an obsession till you can see it through.
Is it difficult to be a great actor?
Difficult to be, well, I mean, those are all relative terms. I mean, it's acting is what I do as a profession, and whether I'm great or not, I mean, it can be difficult sometimes, and sometimes it's easy. It's not one thing or the other, really, you know.
Because you got a lot of nominations, a lot of Academy Awards and everything, so people expect from you.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
they're looking forward to something
That's it.
new and something novel, and therefore, each time up, you have to forget the past, and you're only good as what's in the present or the future. So therefore, you try to come up with something novel and fresh and new, and hopefully that's different than what you did before.
And is it difficult to do that?
To direct?
Yeah.
Well, I think of directing and write whatever is an extension of myself as an actor. So once we start in the field and everything, I don't find it that difficult. Part of the difficulty is being tired and getting enough rest. But I find it more exhilarating, and I get less tired than if I'm just acting in a job.
You're very good. You're a very good dancer, right?
Well, to a point, I'm okay. I'm a good, you know, I do okay, yeah.
You do okay because you had a beautiful partner.
Oh yeah, she's terrific. Yeah, and good natural actress, and
Who is she?
she's my lady in life. Yeah, we met in Argentina about 6 years ago, and she's very quick, very sharp. In fact, in Architectural Digest this month, there's a picture of our home in Virginia that she helped with the architecture and designed it. Yeah, so she's quick with a lot of things. Used to ride jumping horses and dance and can act. You know, she's clever.
Tango is love and hate. That's what you're saying.
Well, it's many things. It's a comedy. Like Maria Nieves said, it's life, it's love, it's hate. It's many things that you express through the music or through the movement, but it's a lifestyle that embodies many qualities within a person.
Tango is like acting.
Yeah, could be, yeah. Yeah, it's an expressive thing.
And there's something I always wanted to know from you. What movie gave you the idea of starting and being an actor?
Well, I was a stage actor first. I did a lot of theater, and of course the last play I did on Broadway was American Buffalo a number of years ago. But I did television. But my first film was To Kill a Mockingbird by that Horton Foote wrote, and then he gave me the opportunity to participate in that film.
But when you saw a movie in the movie theater and said, "Okay, that's the first movie I saw," and I said, "I could do that."
Oh, you mean what inspired me to be? That's hard to say. I mean, I think when we all were coming up, Brando was like a hero to a lot of young actors at one point in the '50s, and other people too, and people on stage. So I think I can't point to one particular film necessarily that inspired me to the point where I say I could do that, but it was probably a culmination process of many things that made me want to jump ahead and be an actor.
I heard that you already shared an apartment with Gene Hackman and Dustin Hoffman. Is it true?
Well, Dustin Hoffman, my brother, me, and about four others. Gene lived downtown. He was married at the time, so we all knew each other in New York. But it's a very fickle business. When you begin to make it, then, especially in the United States, where there's New York and Los Angeles, a separation, I never see those guys. It's a fickle business, and you work with people, and you never see them again. But you begin to make it and have your own home and family, your own niche, and you have different interests and so forth. But when I did the Geronimo project, I hadn't seen Gene in a long time, and first time we'd acted together except on the stage, and it was like we picked up right where we left off. Right where we left off. In fact, they had to tell us to be quiet when they rolled the camera, and then when they cut the camera, we'd start up again. And that was 6 or 7, 8 years. I haven't seen him since.
Dustin Hoffman. Talk to me about Dustin.
Well, I haven't seen Dustin. Whenever I see him, we tell a joke or the latest joke, and we pick up where we left off with him. But once again, we're in different circles, so I never see him. But way back, I always figured if anybody was to make it in this business, he was one of them, of our friends that were aspiring at that point. And I remember he used to work in a nut house, and he'd dress up in white and come back to the apartment every day. And Dusty, that he met a girl named Rusty. She worked there too. She dressed in white. She was taller than he was. And I went to his first wedding. I didn't go to the second when he got married, and she was taller than he was. So he stood up real straight, and she kind of slouched as they said their vows. So. But he's a fun guy to be around. But I haven't seen him in a while. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up working with him too. You never know.
I feel there's two Robert Duval because you're always working. You're always in a project. I'm sure you have like 4 or 5 projects already.
Well, no, I have 1 or 2 lined up, but
which is not bad.
My agent said maybe I got to get some clones because like the older you get, a lot of women don't get parts. It's unfortunate, but a lot of times guys do. I'm getting offered parts now as good as ever before.
And what kind of parts do they offer you?
Well, different ones. I'm going to do a part next with Michael Caine where we play 2 old crotchety uncles that this nephew is forced upon us. We have to raise, and we live alone in Texas. Our lives are over. We travel the world, and it's really a nice story, a whimsical story about these 2 old guys that reluctantly are forced to raise this nephew. It's a nice story, and in the end, they talk about over in the Arabian Nights, the French Foreign Legion and all these tall tales, and at the end it all is true. It's a sweet story. So we're going to do that next in Texas, but I just finished a Western out in Calgary, so I don't know, I'm going to learn all these lines. I don't have much time. They wouldn't push the project, so I'm forced to start.
And you're still wearing the cowboy boots?
No, these are regular boots, yeah. No, these are...
They're good.
But I had some knee-high boots they made in Calgary for me. Then they had a hat for me that wasn't right. I said, no, I have to have my own hat. That's the most important part of a costume of a Western. So I went down to the hat place in Calgary. I love Calgary. And a guy, 6'5" guy from Israel, was the guy who made the hats in Calgary. So they made the perfect hat after a documentary that so it was nice, and the boots were made there in Calgary, handmade, and it was a wonderful job, playing. I love westerns, and I think the public loves westerns in Europe, especially where they don't have their wide open spaces like they do in your country and my country.
So when can we expect you in Montreal?
In Montreal, I don't know. I was only there for one day, filming that John Q. So it's cold. It's getting to be getting cold there pretty soon. I don't want to come with a scold. Pablo Larone says, "Oh no, it's so damp and cold in Buenos Aires in the winter." I said, "Yeah, sure. You live in Montreal and you complain about Buenos Aires winters, but I was there just for one day. I didn't really get enough to see the city, but I'm sure I hear it can be a very fascinating city. But I like Calgary too a lot.
Bring your beautiful girlfriend to Montreal. She'll keep you hot.
I'm sure she'll like it. Yeah, maybe so. But we love Buenos Aires. Oh my God! Although they're going through tough times.
Thank you very much, Robert Duval.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Merci. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Oh yeah.